Hi guys, I hope you are feeling well. I'm sure that you have created interesting animations. After finishing this session, I want you to share all of the practices you've done, and you can ask me your questions in the comments, and I would appreciate to answer to them. Anyway, let's talk about the view tab here in this session. At this session, I'm going to talk about these items, which are helpful and functional in controlling your scene. First of all, here we got navigation bar and view cube that I have talked about them in the first session, which shows or hides the navigation bar and the view cube that you can use it to control your view of the scene. But what about HUD or head-up display? Head-up display elements are on-screen displays that provide information about your location and orientation in a 3D workspace. For example, it shows the X, Y, and Z orientation of the camera, as you can see at the bottom left of the scene view. And position readout shows the absolute X, Y, Z position of the camera, and the position readout is located at the bottom left of the scene view. Or the avatar's eye position, as you can see, if I move forward, the values are changing. I activate walk mode, then I move downwards. Check this out. The value of Z is lowering, as you can see. Then I move forward, so it shows the absolute XYZ position of the camera. And the last one is grid location, which shows the grid and level location of the camera relative to the active grid. And as you can see at the bottom left of the scene view, the HUD display is based on the closest grid intersection to the current camera position and the closest level below the current camera position. So for example, here if I move upwards, it shows the grid and the level location of the camera. Actually the closest level and grid, check this out, and if I move forward or if I rotate, the grids are changing. Actually, it is a useful element, especially when you are navigating in the model geometry. So let's try. I keep walk, then I go inside the model geometry by this way, and after that, for example, at this floor, level 16th, as you can see, it shows the level and grids, so it informs us with the position. And then let me move backward. Let me locate at a proper position, for example here. Right now, as you can see, we are at 16th level. I move upward. Check this out. Here, if I pass through the ceiling or roof, the new level is recognized. So right now, we are navigating the 17th level. However, the position readout is activated too, and it shows the absolute XYZ position of the camera. So head-up display elements are on a screen, displays that provide information about your location and orientation in the 3D workspace. However, you can use reference view for being informed of your location. Here, if I open it, the reference view shows a fixed view of the model, and the plan view shows a top view of the model. And as you can see on the screen, it gets an overall view of where you are in the whole scene. And to quickly move the camera to a location in a large model, and you can check your location from the top view of the model in plan view. And you can use click and drag to quickly move the camera to a location in a large model, as I told you before. For example, let me find the proper position for it. For example, here. Check it out, and then again you can keep on navigating in the scene. However, here we are able to manipulate the reference view. So just right click anywhere in the plan view, then use the context menu to adjust the view as desired. And as you can see in look from, here we can even use the current view. Check it out. However, current view in the plan view is not functional and useful, since here in the plan view, another views should be displayed. So by default, the plan view shows a top view of the model. And the another option is section view, as you can see. The section view shows the view from the front of the model. And the triangular marker represents your current viewpoint, and the marker moves as we move or navigate. However, the marker may also be dragged by holding the left mouse button over it and dragging to move the camera in the scene view. So we can use reference view to have an overall view of where you are in the whole scene, which can be useful in most of the times. Let me close the plan views. After that, I move backward to get out from the model geometry. Then we will go for covering the other items. Very well. In the continuation, I'm gonna talk about the grids and levels. As you can see here, you can toggle to show the grids. After that, the grids will be displayed. As you can see, check it out. As you can see, grids and levels are displayed at each level of the building and are configured by default in relation to your camera position. For example, right now as I'm moving down and up, the grids are displayed in green on the floor below me and displayed in red on the floor above me. Let's talk about the modes. For example, in above and below, it displays the active grid on the levels directly above and directly below the camera position. And as we are in level 19, the levels of 19 and 20 will be displayed. But if I select above, only the above level will be displayed. But if I select below, only the below level will be displayed. But if I select all, the grids in all of the levels will be displayed. But still the grid lines in above and below levels are shown in colors, while other grid lines are drawn transparently. And as I move upwards and downwards, the grids are changing in relation to my camera position. And the last option is fixed, which displays the active grid on a single user specified level. And right now, as you can see, only one of the specified levels is shown. However, in the list you can specify the level. As you can see, firstly you can specify your file, your NWC file, since you may have appended too many files, and after that you can specify a level on the display level drop down list. Check this out. I can specify the level, for example level 17th, as a single grid which I want to display in my scene. So if we select fixed, then we can specify a level on the display level drop down list, and specifying a level would be available in the condition that you select fixed as the mode of the grids. Well done. I keep on going to scene view. Here, as you can see, we got full screen, which displays the current view in full screen mode. For example, you can use full screen mode while you're having a presentation for your clients and employers. Check this out. And if you use two monitors, your default scene view is automatically placed on the primary display, and the interface can be placed on the secondary display to control the interaction. And the shortcut of full screen mode is F11. So by F11, you can toggle full screen mode. There are some times that you may need multiple views. For example, suppose that I want to have two views from my building model, one from the top and the another one from the bottom, by this way for example. So I want to have two views simultaneously from top and bottom. So I can use a split view that it splits the active view horizontally or vertically, creating a secondary view window. For example, in a split vertical, you can have access to two separate views. For example, I can adjust the right view as the view of top, and as you can see, you cannot close the main view, while you can close the added view, and you can pin it like this way so that you can open the view whenever it was needed. And after that, you can close it after getting done or just finished your work with it. So by this way, you can have access to the added view and display it. And right now, as you can see, I have used a split view. I'm able to use it again. Check this out. Two views are added. I'm in addition to the main view or main perspective view. And if I unpin them, you can see that here we got three views. The left one is the main view and others are the added views. Again, I can select view 1 to split it in horizontally. Check this out. As you can see, we got four views so that you can position the camera view in a specific location of your model geometry in each of the four views so that you can have access to them quickly. For example, I can adjust the first view as the lobby of the building so that we can have the view of the different parts of the model geometry simultaneously. So this could be useful, especially if you use your creativity for specifying a good location for your camera view. Check this out. In the view of 1, we got this specified scene, as you can see. Meanwhile, I can adjust the view 3, for example. So I choose another location for it of the model geometry. And if you want to arrange these 4 views, you can pin them by this way. After that, you can open them whenever they were needed. Even you can assign them a name, then you are able to display them whenever you want. And after that, you can close them whenever you were finished with them by just clicking on close. Check this out. By this way, you can toggle to display the views. Well done. The next item or option is background, which sets the background color and style of the scene. For example, the background color is black right now. I open background setting. As you can see, we can modify mode and color. Plain is specified for mode. I specify red for color. Then I click on apply. But if your specified color was not applied on your scene, it is because of the render style mode. So here I open the mode. Then I specify shaded. After that, you will see your specified color would be applied on your scene. Actually, the background of the scene. Again, I open background setting. Then I modify the color. For example, blue. Apply. Check it out. And if it wasn't applied on the background of the scene, just modify the mode, shaded for example. Actually, here we got a graphical problem, but I just wanted to show you how does it work. Well done. And in continue, let me check the modes of the background settings. The next mode is graduated, that the background of the scene is filled with a smooth gradient between the 2 selected colors. Check this out. As you can see, we can specify the top and bottom colors, and in horizon, the background of the 3D scene is split across the horizontal plane, giving the effect of the sky and the ground. And right now, if I navigate downward, we do not see the back of the ground plane because the background is filled with the sky color. But if I move upwards, we can see the ground plane. And note that if you got problem with applying the modifications on the background of the scene, just edit or modify the mode of the render style. And as you can see, I'm switching between full rendered and shade. Then the changes would be applied on the background of the scene. Well done. And the last part in View tab is window size, that you can use it to define how the view is proportioned. Let me open window size. First of all, you can specify the type. Then in types menu, you got use view, which is defined by the resolution of the monitor. As you remember, I mentioned all of these in the exporting animation part. The another one is explicit, in which you can specify the value of width and height. Check this out. I can modify the value 800 and 500 by this way. And the other option is use aspect ratio, that in which you can specify the value of width, then the value of height would be adjusted proportion to the value of width. As I told you before, based on some principles, the height is being adjusted automatically, and use view is the best choice. Actually, I don't consider this as a functional option, since we don't need it right now. So I just recommend you to specify use view for the type of the window size, then it would be okay. Well done. Up to this point, we have finished the first season of the course, and as you watched, we considered and covered the basic topics of the Navisworks course, such as navigation, which is one of the most essential parts in Navis, that you should know that, saving the viewpoints, sectioning, and creating and exporting the animations, that we explained all of them in this season. After that, we will enter to season 2 so that we can deal with more serious and professional topics. But as a homework, I want you to do the given practices that I mentioned in the last videos. And if you had any questions, you can ask me, because if you want to be mastered in the Navisworks software, please do the practices. And up to this point, you should be able to do sectioning to create and export the animations, using navigation tools to just walk or move in your scene, and other the given topics. Again, I'm gonna emphasize on practicing, and I hope you will practice well before starting the next season, since you should have the prerequisite knowledge before starting the season 2. I hope you have enjoyed the videos, and I had conveyed the topics informatively, and whenever you learn the mentioned skills in the season 1, you're allowed to continue the videos. See you in season 2.